Hey y'all, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel, and today is going to be a book tag. This is like a Q&A, meet the Booktuber tag that Kristy at Gracefield Reads created. If you haven't seen it, I will link it down below. Love this tag. Lots of fun questions that I'm really excited to try to answer. I don't think I have an answer for every one of them, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and jump right in. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to answer these questions. I honestly wrote them down a while back and I don't remember. I don't think I wrote answers for everything, but this is going to be as impromptu as it can be. So let's do it. Question number one is, how did you decide like what type of books you liked or what genre books that you liked, that kind of thing? So for me, I feel like I have talked a lot about like my reading journey over the years. You know, I started out like a lot of people in YA and like just the secular BookTube. I watched a lot of that over the years, and then I finally found Oshina. At Oshina, got to read them all. Found the Christian fiction side like a couple years ago, and like as soon as I started reading that, I was like, y'all, great recommendations. Here we go. This is it. And I just knew as soon as I read these books, like they were faith-filled. They just gave you such a different feeling than the secular books. And I still read secular books. I'm not saying I don't, but there was just something about that Christian fiction genre that I just wanted to inhale read, you know? And so that's that. And as far as like genres itself, like historical fiction or so, my favorite genres, y'all know, is like historical fiction, contemporary romance, historical romance. That's the top. Dipping my toes into these cozy mysteries, starting to love them. Fantasy, starting to love it. All that good stuff. So yeah, just like tasting a lot of the different genres, we'll say, just trying them out. But top tier is always historical fiction, historical romance, and contemporary romance. And I always started off reading a contemporary romance secular side, so I think I just loved a good feel-good romance, like a Hallmark cheesy movie, that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. I think we all started out like in my generation, what founded my love for reading was, of course, Twilight when I was in high school, so there's that. And then later on, what rekindled my love for reading was Outlander. Y'all already know my love for Outlander. It's like a whole thing. I can't let it go. It's my favorite just love story of all time. Claire and Jamie, you already know. You see the shelf up here, okay. But that really piqued my interest in the historical fiction side. I never really read historical fiction until I read Outlander, and I absolutely adored it. And then the rest is history, right? I mean, hey, contemporary romance I've always loved, just that feel-good romance stories, you know, all those, just those great tropes that you have. And then founded my love for historical fiction. So yeah, I guess I don't really know the best way to answer it. That's what I fell in love with, and so we're here. So I can't talk. What am I saying? You combine, okay, keeping that in there. You combine historical and romance, we got the number one, okay? The number one genre. It's kind of like that reel where it's like, the one that's like, why do I have to have this or this? Why can't I have both? Yeah, that's it. So, yeah. Number two is, what author is most like me? Now, this is a tough question, y'all, because if you don't follow a lot of your favorite authors on Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform they have, it's kind of hard to really know them. But one author that I've really gotten to enjoy getting to kind of social media know a little bit, and I have chatted with her several times, she's the sweetest, is Pepper Basham, y'all. She is so nice, just a very kind person, and I think she's hilarious. Have you seen her Instagram? She is so funny, and she just reminds me of myself. We are both Lord of the Rings nerds. I mean, she is always resharing like Lord of the Rings content, and I'm like so here for it. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, I think she is awesome. She's funny, has a great personality, and she does remind me of myself because reasons. I've read two of her books, Laurel's Dream and The Heart of the Mountains. Love them so much, and I am going to be reading Authentically Izzy. I'm on her launch team, so that's how I got to talking to her and all that good stuff. So yeah, I do plan to read her Christmas book. It's over here, y'all. Are y'all ready? We're going to do a Vlogmas vlog from this because she so kindly sent me this to honestly read and review. Book 2 after this, I'm pretty sure it's a continuation after this, comes out in February. It's on NetGalley. I already requested it because that's the one I really wanted to read from her. Any of her books, it was like auto buy for me. So, hey, here we are. But yeah, she is one that reminds me of myself because she just cracks me up. And I'm always like, just the same type of personality. She's got the funniest reels. Check her out. Anyway, okay, number 3. If you were stranded on an island, what book would you take with you? So, obviously the Bible, but let's just say a fiction book. If I had to pick one fiction book, maybe Lord of the Rings, The Bind Up. I mean, where it's got all 3 in 1. Is that cheating? So, I don't think I would take Outlander just because I need the whole series. But Lord of the Rings, there is a bind up that's got 1, 2, and 3. So can I say that? Because that would be it. And I don't know if there's a bind up that's got The Hobbit in it, but hey. So probably that. Just because I've not even read book 2 and 3, and I need to finish it, and I could reread it forever, and it'd be like the best story. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess that'd be my instant answer. You know, without really thinking too hard about it, that's it. Okay. Question number 4. Do you like getting books to read or just because they look beautiful? Honey, you know what? Are we not all because they're beautiful or what? No, I'm just kidding. No, of course to read. I love physical books and the covers, but a lot of times I will admit I'm on that audiobook game, and sometimes after I read it, I have to have it on my shelf. Like, let's be real. This right here, how many times have I talked about it? I did not read the physical copy. I read it because it was on my NetGalley and I had the ebook, but you know what? I loved it so much, had to have physical copy because it's beautiful. So, I mean, I can see what you mean. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously to read because you girl loves to read, but am I really reading all these? I don't know. Anyway, I'm one to not. Question number 5. What is it? Hold on. I didn't take good notes. What book, if you read it 10 years ago, would have changed your life? I guess is what it is. I think that's the question. If not, that's the question I'm answering. So what book, if I would have read it 10 years ago, would have changed my life? Ooh, I have not thought about this. I need a minute. Okay, let me think. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with a cliche answer on this, but Redeeming Love, Francine. Like, I read this in 2016 for the first time. I want to reread it, but y'all, this book really did impact me on such a deep level. A lot of y'all have said that, so this is it. It's got to be. Yes, ma'am. I mean, if I'd have read that when I'm 32, so if I would have read this at 22, I was not involved in my faith in any way when I was 22. Y'all have heard my faith Q&A. You know my story. If you haven't, I'll link that video. But, because there's a lot of new faces on the channel, so I do have Q&As on here if you want to check them out. But, so I really feel like this would have changed my whole life reading this and just realizing the love of God. Yes. This is it. Not to get emotional, but hey. Okay, so question number 6. If only 3 books were in the world, what would they be? Or if that's too much for you, you could say your top 3 genres. Well, we've already talked about my top 3 genres. Historical fiction, historical romance, contemporary romance. We already own that. Now, if there were only 3 books in the world, ooh, boy, that's a tough one. I guess The Hobbit, and then, oh, definitely The Hobbit, though. I don't know about LTR. I mean, we can say The Bind Up, LTR. Okay, we can cheat on that one a little bit. That's 3 on 1. And then, I don't want to duplicate an answer. I would have said Redeeming Love is a really good one, too. I don't know, y'all. This is tough. This is tough business. Pride and Prejudice. Hey, let's just go with it. Pride and Prejudice is one of my most favorite books this year. Classic. It's different than what I normally read, so let's use it. Okay, there you go. Okay. Number 7. If you wrote a book about anything, what would it be about? So, I know the answer for this for sure. If I ever wrote a book, which I'm not an author by any means, but if I was, let's just say, hypothetically, it would be, in a serious manner, it would really be a book, my experience with my son, autism, as an autism mom. My son's 3.5, he'll be 4 next year, and just, you know, I've read several books. One of my favorite books that really has inspired me is Forever Boy by Kate Swenson. This book, I could reread this. This book, I read it earlier this year, just truly impacted me from such an emotional level. We went through some really tough things with my son and this journey of autism, I'll say. And so I would write a book just kind of like she did, after the many years of whatever we go through the course of his life. I could see that, you know, like, of course I'm not going to write a book because I'm not an author, but that would be the only thing I could think of. And I would do it in a faith manner. Like, I would say how God worked through us in that, or how God worked through that situation. Like, how God worked in our lives and got us through it, you know. This really didn't have a whole lot of faith elements and related to that, but a couple times she mentioned God and things like that and praying, but I would probably do more of like a Christian nonfiction in relation to being an autism mom and just our journey. So yeah. So yeah, that'd be my answer on that. Question number 8. I don't know that I have an answer on this, but what character is a lot like you? I struggle with this kind of stuff, y'all. Like, I haven't read a book that really has me, you know? Like, I've never really related fully to a character a whole lot that I can remember. It's still hard for me to say, oh, that's me in the book, you know? So I'm not going to say anything because I'm not. Like, I don't know. I would love to hear your answers if y'all could ever think of a character in a book, hey, that made you think of me. Feel free. But your girl struggles on that, and I guess because I'm not as, like, self-focused when I'm reading a book, I'm just thinking about the characters, you know? But I'm sure there's something out there, but nothing ever comes to mind when I had that question. I've had that question before, and I'm out, so we'll just skip it. How do you plan BookTube content? So I have a planner. I don't have it with me, but I've talked a lot about it throughout my vlogs over the past few months. And I try to kind of plan it out that way. But this past month, I've not used it a lot because I've just kind of been playing things by ear. Been so busy, y'all. Like, you know, I was out of town for a conference, and then I've been like busy. Well, I was working some on Saturday, a couple Saturdays, and then just had a lot of things going on at home. So yeah, and oh, by the way, appreciate y'all's BookTube video ideas. I wrote them down, but I also keep like this little notebook here. So like, you know, I've got kind of like some Vlogmas stuff here. I tried to do like a little bit of a journal here, like TBR, but fall releases are here, all that stuff, and I try to check it off. But here lately, I've been just kind of like using this as a list for like John, when I was doing John's study. Different book reviews, there's different notes. They're kind of all over the place. Fall TBR, just a place to make notes that really helps me stay organized, but the planner kind of helps. But lately I've just been kind of doing whatever. If I see a fun tag that one of y'all do, kind of like this one, I'll do it. Hey, which Kristy did tag me to do this, but still, I know like the cake tag, Holly had done it, and I was like, oh, that's cute, I'm gonna do that too. Like, you know, just whatever I see out there. And so yeah, yeah, I know a lot of people do Vlogmas. I've definitely planned that out. I need to do some pre-filming for it in November, but because, you know, your girl ain't gonna be able to film every single day. We gotta have pre-filmed. So I don't even know if I'm gonna do it every day. I may just do like the 12 days of Christmas kind of thing if I don't have enough time to film, but that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, I usually try to like plan it out, but lately I've not been doing too good. So number 10, if you were dying or living, she's funny. She said, well, if you were dying, what book would you read to the world? Or if that's too much, just right now, what book would you read to the world? So, yeah, this was fun, and I hope I got all these questions right. I'm trying to, I think that's it. I hope I wrote these down correctly, but if not, it's fine. So, yeah, what book would you read to the world? Of course, the Bible. Everybody know that. But if we're talking about like a fiction book, y'all. Probably Redeeming Love. I mean, and maybe if after I read this could be the answer. Because, hey, it's Friday night right now. I'm reading, what am I doing? I'm reading this. Just finished this today, y'all. So good. But I just started The Secrets of Emberwild. And when I finish it, I'll be a little bit caught up. I've got like 2 or 3 other books I got to read this month for NetGalley. But I'm going to stop doing that because I've just been constant on that. And we read this. So this is the next book I'm picking up. So maybe this will be it. I don't know. Francine's always so impactful. I mean, you would want it to be an impactful read. My ultimate answer is always the Bible, but if you had to pick a fiction book, probably something of Francine's. So, yeah. That's it for this video. I know it was quick. I just wanted to film it. If y'all ain't following Kristy, I love her so much. She is just such a joy. Please check her out. I'll link her channel below. I am filming this on not my front-facing camera, y'all, so I hope the quality is a little bit better, and I hope y'all was in the frames. So, a lot of y'all are new followers here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. All the good stuff. Love y'all so much. Hope y'all have a great day whenever you're watching this, and I will check y'all out in my next video. What am I saying? And I will see y'all in my next video. Check y'all out in my next video. Why do I always want to say that? Anyway. It is what it is. I'll see y'all later. Bye. See y'all. Bye.